Okay, so we are going to be watching a game between Socialist, the Protoss player, and RanGirl, now the Terran player. This is pretty exciting. I have not seen RanGirl play Terran yet, but I'm going to mute my microphone now so RanGirl cannot hear what we're saying. But RanGirl is going to be able to comment on his own play via the stream. So anyways, microphone is now muted.
Terran is your main, right, RanGirl?
Yo, even though it says I play random in my profile, that's just because I like team games and shit. I play.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I play like 95% Terran ladder. Every once in a while, I'll get mad when I lose to some idiot and switch to Protoss, but in general, it's just Terran.
Oh, okay. I was a bit.
This is like a really interesting map. I had this map vetoed for a really long time, just because of the fact that it's a 1 vs 1 map. And a lot of times ladder idiots will cheese you on 1v1 maps because they can like build shit outside of your base. I really don't like the fact that there's rocks behind your base, but a big difference between this map and Blistering Sands is that the rocks aren't like too far, or too close rather, so it's not like someone can just go really fast between your main entrance and the entrance behind your base. Against Zerg, this is a really good map. Against Protoss, I don't know. This guy just scouted me with one of his 6 probes. His probe was in my base really fast, so I don't think he had time to build a gateway anywhere. I think he's just trying to fuck with me. So the important thing is just like to not freak out. You never want to lose SCVs to an early probe.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that if he was gonna do some goofy gateway thing, he wouldn't have shown his probe so fast. Although he could. Actually, I'm not 100% on that. I'm going to start looking around because he's not really doing any sort of harassment with this probe, so I don't really need to have an SCV following it.
Socialist.
I'm just going to look around just to make sure there isn't a barracks, because my general build against Protoss is I get a really fast reactor so I can get a lot of Marines, and then during the time when I make my reactor, it gives me a lot of money to expand. The problem is that reactors take fucking forever to build, and so if somebody cheeses you when you're building a reactor, you're gonna die pretty much. So I don't see a gateway. I think he was just scouting really early to fuck with me, so I'm not gonna stress out about it too much.
We do see Socialist right over here.
I'm just gonna reactor expand and just see where it takes me. I want to see right away if I think he's gonna do like some sort of cheese shit, or if he's gonna play standard.
Socialist over here is going for a pretty normal build, and for all the new people in the stream, we are watching a game between RanGirl and Socialist. Socialist.
Notice right away he's not building a zealot, so the chances of really super early aggression aren't that high. And he also has not taken his second guess super early. He's chrono boosting both his gateway and his warp gates, which usually doesn't indicate a 4-gate. It usually means just some sort of standardish open where he wants to get the stalker out quickly to scout, but he also wants a warp gate on a reasonable time. So I'm just going to throw my SCV in his natural, because I think he's probably going to expo. Yeah, there's a Nexus spec there. And so that's really good for me. Just in this situation, I'm real comfortable playing a macro game versus Protoss. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add barracks and get a lot of bio shit. We can see, I might get some scans out, and I might try and do some scouting. And if I see that if he's trying to tech for anything too quickly, I'm just going to try and go for a timing push. But my general strategy on this map is just going to be to get medevacs out really quick and try and do some drop harassment.
So we do see that Socialist is actually...
And some guys like to harass your Marines with stalkers early on, but I already know that he expoed, so I'm not like worried about a 4-gate, so I can just play aggressively with my Marines because he's not going to have enough shit to kill me.
We do see Socialist...
And because I'm going to attack early, I'm going to take my second gas pretty quick, quicker than I normally would. Because Marauders and Marines are really mineral intensive. You really don't want to take your gases earlier than you need to against Protoss. You also want to get stimmed very early. If I'm afraid of some sort of early aggression, like a 4-gate, or if I saw him doing something stupid, then I would take my gases really super early, and I would cut Marauders and try and get stim out really quickly, because when I do this build, my stim is really delayed. I'm just going to keep an eye out on the back rocks, and I see he is not doing anything goofy. He's not like trying to kill my back rocks to the 4-gate or something. And I'm just going to start stimming concussive and have him at a reasonable time. And during this time, Terran really doesn't have very much vision, so you just have to rely on like your game sense and what you feel about the guy. Because he fast expanded on a map like this, he doesn't really seem like somebody who would cheese me. So I'm not really too worried about some all-in. Also, it's pretty hard to all-in somebody on a map like this, just because defender's advantage in almost any situation, both like the natural and the main, are really high. And now that I started stim and I have some Marauders coming out, I'm going to throw my factory down and start attacking. And I'm going to peek this SCB in and just see what he has. Pretty like nondescript army, just a mix of like sentries and shit. So it doesn't really tell me too much. I'm going to get an evade just in case. I might need to make some turrets. I'm not going to make any though. I just don't want to take too much damage if he does some goofy Dark Templar transition. And I'm just going to run Marines to the Watchtowers. Generally, Protoss don't take the Watchtowers just because all the gateway units are pretty expensive. So, yeah. That was just like macro, make a lot of shit, and be responsive.
So I'm actually unmuting my microphone right now because some of the people in the chat are saying that I should actually just talk and just not reveal anything about what Socialist is doing right over here. So I will do so.
Okay, that works.
But continue on. I just wanted to let you know that.
Okay, and feel free, I don't know what kind of shit might be useful, so if I'm leaving anything out or something isn't extremely obvious, feel free to ask or point it out or something.
Sounds good.
Cool. So right away I start my reactor on my factory, so I'll have enough to get, and I make sure I save enough gas too, so I have enough to get 2 medevacs right away. You want to get your medevacs really quick, because you need them out on the field just to do some scouting and shit. If he's making Colossus, I'm going to need to switch right away to Viking production, and I might not have the opportunity to make medevacs for a long time until my 3rd base comes online, and I'm just now taking also my gas. So now I have all 4 of my gas once I start medevac production. And I'm kind of being lazy. On ladder, it's a really good idea to scan people with at least 1 scan during this time, but I'm kind of like being cheap and not using any of my scans just because I have the Watchtowers. And he is moving out on the map with his units, which is actually really good for me because this is exactly when I'm moving out with my dropships. What I want to do right now is I want to somehow slow down Colossus tech. If he goes straight for Storm, that's not going to be that good for me, and he actually has Templar out right away. So I'm going to build a Ghost Academy, and I'm just going to continue medevac production. He has a Templar here. You want to spread your shit out. He's like all-inning me. I don't know why. It seems like a pretty bad time to attack. Doesn't really have that much shit, and he left a lot of stuff at home. He lost all the Templar he had, so I'm going to kill Growth, but I didn't take too much damage. So that was a really good exchange for me. I basically killed all the Templar that he had, so he doesn't have like tons of energy built up, and I also like slow down his econ a lot. I'm also going to get out with both my medevacs alive, which is pretty good. And because I know now that he doesn't have very much shit, because he just rammed his entire army into the front of my base, I'm just going to start being really aggressive with my drops, because he doesn't, that was basically his one counterattack that he can do, and he's not going to have very much shit to kill me. So I'm just going to keep flying around with medevacs, keep trying to do what I can.
I'm curious what you have to say about like spreading out your forces, because actually no, About the scouting factor, actually, because you know if you lose that, then you can't get Stargate tech for a while.
Well, the thing is, it has a lot of hit points. So if he like starts attacking it, and I'm like, oh well, he's gonna make a Colada Colossus, or I'm gonna need my armory to get fast upgrades, then I can just build that really quick. So it's not like a huge setback if he kills it. Also, whenever you send your main army to attack an Expo, you always want to target pylons first, especially when he goes Templar quickly, just so he can't work them in. I have to imagine he got Amulet fairly quickly, just because he's not really committing at all to Colossus.
I'm going to be turning down the game volume, actually, because I just loaded up my feed on mine, and it seemed like the game volume was a bit too loud. That was a pretty good EMP you made over there.
Yeah, I just want to keep the pressure on. The thing about barracks units is they're really, really cool. They're just really cost efficient. So if you just keep killing their shit and just keep trading them, it works out really, really well for you. So when I kill a lot of his gateway shit and he doesn't have Colossus out, I'm just gonna keep like targeting waves and waves of marauders because they're just really, really they're a lot more efficient in small numbers, I guess to say, than in just huge masses. And Storm also isn't nearly as efficient in small numbers, so I'm just gonna keep rallying stuff. I want to kill his third base, and he just GG'd. I played really bad. He definitely didn't seem like a silver player, but
yeah, he was a pretty good player. I mean, you just played very well. And now Anonymous actually wants a rematch right now, so we're going to have a rematch between both of you.
All right, cool.
Let's see. Oh, actually, Anonymous said no. He wants to see a rematch between Socialist and you. So I guess we could do that. Let's see, usually in competitions, do they have the loser or the winner pick the next map?
It depends. I mean, usually loser picks map, I guess. You can give him a map pick. As long as there's some Blistering Sands, I'm fine with any other map.
Okay,
yeah, Blistering Sands is pretty overpowered first turn.
Sounds good, then, Josh, you can... sorry, not Josh. Cyphers, if you want to just talk with... what's his name again? I completely forgot, but if you want to message Socialist and ask for a rematch. And ask what map he wants.
I don't even know Socialist. I don't know who invited him, to be honest.
Oh, that's weird.
I'm PMing him. I'm talking to him right now.
Okay.
Alright, that's good.
He said Shakuras.
Shakura's Plateau? It is. Shakura's is a pretty epic map.
Definitely. I know you love that map, Edward.
What do you think about this map choice, Josh?
It's good against... I really, really like it on the ladder against ladder idiots because most people don't have like the ability to play a strong late game in macro. Against good people, it's frustrating as Terran. I feel like the architecture of the map, how it's like really, how the bases are really, really far apart, and the middle is like kind of narrow, but still there's like enough room to spread out. I don't know. I struggle on this map a lot versus really good players, but against like random opponents, I feel really, really comfortable on it, just because the natural is really easy to expo to.
That's good. I mean, definitely in this map, the ramp to your natural is like the same size as the ramp to your main. Socialist again saying, "Yo, I'm silver. Good luck." Are you ready?
Yep. Let's do it up.
Okay. Here's for hoping for a fast promotion to gold. So Socialist wants us to take a look at his match history, so we're going to take a look at his profile again. I loaded just too late for our match, but we're going to see RanGirl playing against Socialist, and we're going to hear RanGirl's commentary. I'm also going to be speaking here, but we'll just try to not reveal any details of the game over here.
He's actually making a probe. This is a big deal right here.
Yes, exactly.
Oh.
Uh-oh, we revealed matchmaking info. RanGirl now has the